This is all the Real Madrid news that came out today, and I'm starting out with this. Today there was no training, the players had a day off. However, there was news about Sunday's game. According to Marca, Trent is expected to start at right back. Xabi Alonso has not yet found the ideal partner for Mbappe and Vinny in the attacking line. None of the players who have played at the right wing so far have established themselves. Camavinga is expected to start despite suffering from discomfort last week, and it's still unknown if Dean and Rudiger will be called up for the game against Elche on Sunday. Raul Asensio could start. Now this is the expected lineup. Courtois in goal, then you have Carreras, Raul, Dean, and Trent. Then you have Arda Güler, Fede, and Gama. Jude Bellingham, Vinny, and Mbappe. Now also know that Arda Güler and Mbappe have been included in the Who Scored Best 11 in the top 5 leagues so far this season, and that Xabi Alonso wants to test Ferland Mendy as a center back. Xabi knows Mendy does not fit his plan as a left back due to the presence of Carreras and Fran Garcia. And also there's news that Saudi Arabia have a strong interest in Antonio Rudiger. A return to the Premier League is also an option. Now before I tell you this, if you're enjoying the video so far, just like the video so I know. And if you want to stay updated with Real Madrid news, just follow. But anyways, Real Madrid and Rudiger remain open to extending his expiring contract beyond 2026. Before the injury, there had already been concrete discussions about figures. Since the injury, talks have been on hold. The current plan is first his comeback, then new negotiations. Now also, Eder Militao will be back in time and will start against Manchester City on December 10th. And everything shows that Nico Paz will return to Real Madrid next summer. The club could bring him back for just 9 million euros. And according to Goal, take it with a grain of salt. People close to Erling Haaland are saying the player would very much like to play for Real Madrid. And also Hakimi's agent Alejandro. Alejandro was asked Hakimi returned to Real Madrid. Well, Alejandro says he's happy in Paris where he has a contract until 2029. But in football, nothing is impossible. Real Madrid is his home. And also we found out by Cope, the date for the Copa del Rey final will be changed. La Liga and the RFF are in talks. It will be played on April 11 or 18. And also Bruno Guimaraes said this on Casemiro. He's a complete player, his career speaks for itself. He's also an idol there for everything he's done, especially at Real Madrid. The 5 Champions League titles. And Xabi Alonso at the Real Madrid University was asked Real Madrid values. He says, since I lived this experience as a player and today as a coach, I uphold the values of this club in a natural way. Because the history of this club must be respected. This pursuit of excellence and this generosity. And this undeniable effort with the club. And at all levels, not just on the field. At Real Madrid, things are not managed in any way. And that must be understood. And Thibaut Courtois said, if we need to impose order in the dressing room, I am one of those who can do that. But we didn't need to do that. We are all heading in the same direction. And Ian Wright said this about Jude's situation with the English media. I texted Jude before this week's England game. And I told him, be ready. He said back, ready for what? And I told him, listen, I'm going to be here for you. They, referring to English media, are not ready to see a black superstar. Like he says, certain people are not ready for a black superstar in England. And then this was the example. Everyone loves N'Golo Kante. He's a humble black man. It's how he is. But when we see Paul Pogba or Jude Bellingham, that energy does not fit well with these people. It frightens these people. Jude's too uppity for these people. As a black man, when you go out, you are told to keep your head down. If you're a black man who's outspoken at this level, it scares certain people. This person I'm referring to is obsessed with Jude Bellingham. He's moving off this energy. He can't see a black man do what Jude Bellingham's doing. Then Apple Vice President Eddie talked about his conversation with Florentino. He said it was special. We were supposed to talk for 15 minutes, and we ended up talking for 2 hours about the future. He doesn't live in the past. He always wants to be better, to win more, to be more successful. Through the Infinite Renaveo project, we will one day have 200 million fans, basically sitting at the stadium watching the game. That's the vision. Not just watching the game, but feeling it. With sound, with emotion, with presence. One of those things that's really difficult is that when you're watching a match on TV, you lose some of the energy. You see it better, but you don't have the same emotions. And that's one of the things. We believe you'll feel much more when you see the project we're doing with Real Madrid. If I had woken up at the Bernabeu, I'd have thought I was on Mars or some other planet. And he said that Real Madrid is a club that has achieved so much. They are the best club in the world, but they're always looking to be better. And then Javier Tebas talked about how illegal streaming is stealing, and that was already in Moses' 7th commandment in the Bible. You don't need complicated laws to understand that. In Argentina, there have recently been home raids carried out by companies based in the country. If at least these websites pay taxes, if they pay something for the rights, if we want a world where everything is free, then maybe we should go live somewhere else. Go to North Korea or whatever. I'm sure that if piracy disappeared, access to watching football would be much cheaper. Now also, a young fan met Mbappe, and well, they asked him whether he is better than Lamine Yamal. Mbappe just laughed and walked away after taking a selfie with him. And lastly, top scorers in Champions League history from the semifinals onward. Cristiano with 17, Benzema with 9 goals, Messi with 8, Lewandowski with 7, and Vinny with 6. And well, with that being said, let me know what you guys thought about the news.